Hello, everyone. My name is Alvaro Alvarez, the Innovative Media Librarian here at the Creator Lab in Orbach. I'm here just to do the online presentation of the workshop I did this fall on Blender and Adobe Mixamo. So yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna show you how to create this a similar animation to this. I used Luffy from One Piece, as you can tell. I'm a One Piece fan. I have a shirt on with the straw hats. But yeah, Adobe Mixamo and Blender, they're both free to use. So Blender's an open source software. You could do a lot of cool stuff like rigging, texturing, simulations. And Adobe Mixamo as well. It's free if you have an Adobe account. You just need to log in. Then you'll have access to a lot of different motion capture animations and characters as well. Um, for the Luffy character, I actually grabbed him from that website on www.models/resource.com. You can find a lot of video game characters on that website and download them to use in your animations. Uh, Once you upload your character to Mixamo, you can apply the animations. It'll rig it for you. You download it into Blender, and then you have your animation. Benefits of both: they're free, high quality animations, they're very flexible and easy to use. They streamline your workflow a lot. But yeah, that's it for the presentation. Make sure to visit us in the Creator Lab. We have a lot of cool equipment that you can use, like 3D printing, 3D scanning, sewing, embroidery. We have a 3D XP Media Lab with Alienware computers that you can use to do some of the workshops like this. You can go in there, use Blender. They're high end, so they won't freeze on you. And then we have the Creator Lab Instagram. Make sure to follow us to keep up to date on some of the events, like the robotics camp we'll have in the summer that is free. And also like Maker Week coming up. Those are 2 yearly events. Plus, we have other workshops throughout the year. So, yeah, stay tuned for a lot of that fun stuff. But let's go into Blender. Uh, so now on Blender, I have this set to screencasting so you can see what I'm doing with the keyboard and the mouse. I'm just going to click on the cube. I'll hit delete to get it out of the way. I'm going to import my OBJ file that I downloaded from that website that I showed you. OBJ files just have the compared to an STL file, it has the color data. STL files don't, so those are used more for 3D printing and stuff like that. So let's see, where's the OBJ? OBJ, I have it in my downloads folder. Near this folder, OBJ file. If you don't see it, it's because it's probably, let me see. Oh, it didn't come in. The way I could tell is, yeah, sometimes Blender acts up. So you can see over here, I don't see the character or anything. So I'm going to import, let's see, OBJ again, downloads. Let's see, Goofy Dressrosa, OBJ, import. Still not working. Yeah, if you have issues with Blender, like if something's not working, or just like in this case, you can just shut it down. I won't save it. Let me reopen it again. It acts up sometimes, so it was giving me some trouble earlier. So I'm gonna open it, general, start over again. I'm going to go make sure I have this on so you can see what I'm doing. Let's see, import OBJ file, downloads, OBJ, and oh, it's still acting up. I have a backup file in case that one, yeah, it might be corrupt. I've been using it a lot. So let me import a different one. I have OBJ. Let's go up. I have this one right here. There you go. So I imported my Luffy file. Um, yeah, sorry about that. The file wasn't working, so I had to use a backup file I had. But now that I have the file, you can see he's ready to go. He's in a T pose, so I just wanted to kind of show you this so you knew what to do if you were starting off in Blender. You want to do file. Let's see. You can export it. It should be already in an OBJ file, but you can, if you do anything to it, you can do file export OBJ, name it. Then one thing that might happen to you too is you might have other parts to your characters. If that happens, like in this case, you would just have to kind of combine the faces. Let me see. I can't show you with this file. Too bad the other file's not working, but let me try it one more time. If you see if it, if not, you can always set up a consultation with me if you have any questions on any of this, or if you run into any problems, and I can help you through that. So let me see. That's the one I fixed. Uh, and then that's the OBJ. So yeah, see if it works. No, it didn't. Yeah, for some reason it's not working. But let's see. I guess I can go into the site and just show you. I'll download it. I think it's something you might run into, like an issue. So uh, let me look for him. Luffy. Uh, doo, doo, doo. I use this one. Let's see, download zip archive. So it's downloading. Once it finishes downloading, I'll unzip it. Let's see. And you do get ads in this site, so you could just kind of turn them off. Let's see. Let me go back to Blender. It's almost done. So uh, let's see. And there it is. I'll just extract the file, extract all. I'll extract there. Okay. And it's Dressrosa. So, okay. Cool. Okay, I have it there. Yeah, you can see this one has a lot of Luffy's. So yeah, you can. The one I'm using is Dressrosa. So, um, let's see. Let me close this out. So, file, import, and then I'll go to OBJ. I always have a hard time with the screen. Wavelength, OBJ. So let's go back up a few directories. Let's see. So mobile one, Luffy, Dressrosa, OBJ. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you, and he's a good size right here. So, so you see, like if I grab this, it's all one model, and he has no face. If you have this issue with your downloaded 3D model, all you need to do it's a few quick little steps, and then I'll show you how to do it. It'll kind of give you an idea of how to work with Blender. So I'm gonna go here, hit Tab, go into Edit mode. Once in Edit mode, I'm gonna change this view to have this wireframe view, so it's transparent. I'm going to hit A. That way I select everything, make sure everything's selected. If you do it in this mode, you might not select everything in the back, you see. So that's why I went into that wireframe mode. Selected, box selected. So I just left clicked, box selected everything. Then hit P on your keyboard. I do it by loose parts. So now you see over here on the right, I have a bunch of different models now, or yeah, parts to him. So now I can exit this. Let's see. And I can hit, I can box select again. And then I'm going to hit, let's see. I am in edit mode, so I'll do P to separate. You can separate. I did loose parts already. I'm sorry, so I'm repeating my steps. So now that I did that, I'm gonna go hit Tab, go back into object mode. Now I'm going to be able to select on each individual piece now. So like if I move one thing, it's not going to affect the whole model like before. I want to keep the wireframe on though. So here, just pick the face you want. You could delete the other ones by box selecting, hitting delete on your keyboard. We don't need those. Box select the one you want. On the keyboard, you can hit 1 or 3. Those are like the side view and the front view just to position your face. Now you can go back to this view if it's easier for you. I'm zooming in with the wheel on my mouse. Shift middle button to kind of move this over. Now I'm going to hit G to grab, and then it's on the Y axis, so I'm going to hit Y on my keyboard to lock it to the Y. That way it doesn't move around. Like I can move my mouse around as much as I want. It's going to lock onto the Y axis. So now I'm just going to move it over, You can kind of eyeball it, left click when you're good. Then you can kind of move over. It looks pretty good to me. It's positioned well. Um, Let me see. So now that we're good, I want to box select everything again. Everything's selected, and then do Control J. When you hit Control J, if it works, all this is going to turn into one model. So that way we have one model. We don't have like a bunch of different floating pieces. So in object mode, and you can tell what mode you're in over here. Now I'm going to do Control J to join everything. And now you could see that now it's just one solid model again. So like if I move him around, he's good to go. So yeah, that's the model I started off with. So I just wanted to show you that in case you have that problem. And then file export obj, and then you can put them into the folder you want. I named the last one Luffy fixed, so I can call this Luffy2.obj export, and then that's how I save this. So uh, next step is I can minimize this and go into my browser. I'm just gonna go here. Let's see, let me close this one. And here you can see I previously worked on another Luffy for the workshop, so it saves the last model that you imported to work on. But yeah, to get started, I'm just going to upload character. I'm going to select the Luffy I just worked on. I called him Luffy 2. And then it's going to upload. Takes a few minutes depending on your computer. For mine, it's usually because the internet's a little slow. It takes like about a minute process. But when you get your file in there, you'll see them on the side. So don't worry. Just rotate them until you have him like facing you. Once he's facing you, you're good to go. He's in a T pose, which is what they recommend. It just makes it easier for the program to like add the skeleton to your model. Hit next. It gives you a quick little tutorial on the right. You just need to put the circles where they go, the chin. If you're not sure, you can look at that window and then kind of move it around. Wrists, elbows, and I'll do it right there. Knees, and the middle part here, and then we're good to go. Then once you hit next, it's going to calculate everything, add the bones to your model, and that's what we're going to use to export into Blender. And I'll show you how to add the animation to this as well in just a few seconds. And there's also other characters you could use. There's two tabs, a character and an animation, so you can always get another character from here if you wanted to use that. Then you could add the animation and export it. So it's pretty quick once we have the model. Uh, so here you can see a little preview. You can zoom in. You can see if it's good. Sometimes if you didn't line up the circles well to like the points that it was asking you to, you'll have some issues. But if you do just restart it, upload a character again, and just move the circle around a little bit, you might have been off a little bit, and then that should fix it. Uh, so now that it's uploaded, he's in the T pose. Uh, like I said, there's other characters you could use here, and you can scroll along and find one that you like if you don't want to use Luffy. But yeah, here you can we'll do. There's different ones you can filter it out. I can do combat, and then I can go over here. You can scroll down. There'll be other tabs, so there's a lot. You can probably sit here for a good 10 minutes until you find one. If not, you can just search. I can just do boxing. Uh, so there's a few boxing ones here. So it just depends what you want to do with your video. For this one, maybe I'll do this boxing one, and it'll show you a preview right here of what's going on in the animation. Over here, it's just a few little quick settings if you want them to do it faster. If you see that the elbows or something is going into the body like this and it's not good, then you can play around with the arm space. It'll like make the arms and the elbows a little further from the torso, so that way you're not overlapping. You could trim the number of frames that you want. You can mirror it if you want it to be opposite of what it's doing now. But once you're good to go, download. Keep everything the same. FBX file that contains compared to OBJ files and STL files, this one contains lighting information, animation, and And if there's any skeletons to your rig, like a rig to your character, it'll save that data as well. OBJ is just texture color and the file, like the model, and STL is just the model itself. So those are like the three more common ones you're gonna run into. So now once we have this, we can go back to Blender. Um, I'll do file new general, and I won't save this. It's I already have it saved. I'll delete the cube. Now in my scene, I want to import the file. So let's go to file, import, obj. Oh, I'm sorry, FBX. I forgot. So file, import FBX file. It's down at the bottom for me. Boxing FBX. You could have named it something else, so just make sure that you, whatever you named it to, you select it. You can see that he's really tiny compared to the camera, so the camera won't pick him up if you leave it like this. So I'm just gonna hit S to scale, move him up, get him a little bigger, and I think that should be big enough for the camera to see. If not, you can just hit S again, scale it up, and now you have your Luffy. So one thing, yeah, you want to do before we start anything else is you have no color right now. So if I do like a render preview, it's just like it looks like a clay figure just standing there. Let's add the shading to them really quick. So I'm gonna go to the shading tab on the top, click on it. Make sure you click on your model. You'll know he's highlighted when it's like a solid yellow around him. You'll hit new. Now you have some nodes. Um, so these are what controls like the color. The BSDF, principal BSDF controls like the roughness, metallic, alpha. You have your output for your material. So now we add it. You need to add an texture file. So we're gonna do it alpha image texture. So you go to texture. You can do add texture, image texture. Shortcut on the keyboard is Shift A as well. You could get to it that way as well. Image texture. Once you have this, you just want to connect this to the base color. Right now it's all dark because we don't have a color, but you want to open a file that was included with the file you downloaded from that website. It's a PNG file, I believe. So if you go download, should have it in. Wait, let me see. Uh, should have it in this one. So you should see a Luffy 6 PNG. So now once you have that, you can see the colors and everything. So you're good to go. Um, so now that we have the texture file, the color on our model, um, this is the camera. This is the lighting. The lighting, if you click on this and you go down here, you can make it a sunspot. See, there's a lot more light going to them now. A spot, an area. We're just gonna use point for today, and then you can play around with the power too if you want. So it just depends on like what you're doing with your scene, how you want to adjust that. The camera, which is the important part. If you hit 0 on the numpad, you see that right now it's just looking at his feet. So that's what we're gonna get when we render. So I'm just gonna hit G, grab, and move it up. So yeah, so now that's what I would see when I render the animation. But what if I want a front view? A quick way, that way you're not struggling with the camera because it's pretty tricky. Just zoom into where you want the view, hit Control Alt 0, and then that brings the camera to that exact spot. So I'm gonna hit G. I'm gonna position it. Yeah, if you don't do this, then it's gonna be hard. Like you're gonna have to highlight your camera, and then you can grab it, rotate it, and all that. So that's why that's a shortcut to do. Just go to where you want it. So right now you see the camera is here. I'm gonna zoom in here, Control Alt 0. So that moved my camera to that spot. So now I'm just gonna move it a little bit just to capture a little bit more. Next step is I want to play the animation just to make sure everything's good. But yeah, you see there's a lot of dead space. That's because we have it set to 150 frames. The animation was set to like 55 or so. So um, if you want to see what it is, just bring this up a little bit. Uh, hit A on your keyboard to select your character, and that should bring up the keyframes and the timeline. So if they're not selected, you can select them here as well. Um, but that's the full animation. So if I drag this, you could see that's the animation. If I want to extend this animation, just make sure you box select everything, right click, duplicate. Let's duplicate Shift D for your keyboard shortcut, and then you can extend the animation if you want, and then just set the length of this to 116 for the end. So once you have 116, if you play this, it's just gonna be from 1 to 116, and that's your animation. So last step now, we want to export this as a video file so you can use it in like your favorite video editing software. So the final step is just go to your output. You want to set the output file from that temp folder to your downloads or documents folder. Accept. Once you do that, you just need to set the file format to MPEG video instead of PNG files. Once you do that, that's really all you need to do. You want to go to your render file, render tab now, render animation. Once you render the animation, it's going to take a little bit to render, and you can see it as it's going. My computer's a little, like, fairly good, so it might not take that long, but if your computer's not that good with the graphics card, it'll take like a few minutes depending on how long your animation is. But once that's done, you'll see this kind of stop. Once it stops, then you can go over to verify in the folder that you exported to make sure the render is good. And from there, yeah, you can just use that file in your favorite video editing software and just create videos. You can bring in more characters into that scene, play the animations, render it out, create a little fight scene if you wanted, like Luffy versus Goku or something. You can get very creative with this. So I know it's done because it stopped. So I'm just going to close this window. Now, just to verify that it's in my downloads, I go here. It's going to be named this because I didn't name it anything. You can always rename it in Blender. But yeah, once I play it, yeah, you can see. Yeah, so I'll play it again. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, there you go. So that's yeah, that's how you could use Blender and Adobe Mixamo to create cool animations. So yeah, thank you for joining me today, and for those that joined in person, thank you again. Feel free to set up a consultation with me. Come visit us at the Creator Lab. I'm here to help you. I can go over any of these if you have any questions. But yeah, thank you again, and hopefully we'll see you in the Creator Lab.